Hey, what's happening, people? You're tuning in to Music and Motivation with Chris Davis. This is episode number 153. And I'm recording this on February 23rd. It's a Wednesday, 2022. We're getting all the way through February, gang. And I'm sorry I kind of missed last week, dude. I'll catch y'all up here in just a second. But happy to be here, man. Happy to be kicking it with y'all. Again, I don't really, when I'm doing music and motivation right now, guys, I feel like a lot more comfortable and like I do it a lot better when I don't have the video aspect. So I'm just kind of sticking to audio only for right now. I will keep uploading them to YouTube though, if that's the primary source where you watch this, man. I'm still here for you. You know what I mean? I just, I want to be more real with you guys, and I feel like when I have the video camera on me, I'm not as real. You know what I mean? Kind of like Hollywood. It's all fake, right? And the whole purpose of this podcast is to be real and have a real-ass friend to kind of kick it with you. You know what I mean? So, trying to be true to that. And I think the audio-only format helps. So I'm sorry if you're missing the video, but at least we're still going to be having the audio only on YouTube, and it'll be cool. Yeah, dude, it's been kind of a hellacious 2 weeks, you know what I mean? Not like super bad. Nobody's gotten wiped out by a tornado this week, thankfully, knock on wood. We've been surviving some ice storms here in St. Louis, and we got another one moving in later today. Not excited about that. It keeps going up to 60 degrees and then for 2 days and then hitting us with these crazy ice storms, which is terrible. Getting kind of sick of it, but we're almost to spring, and that's what I keep telling myself. If you guys are sick of winter, man, spring is right around the corner and we're almost there, dude. So stick in another 2 weeks. We're going to be there. Okay, so I've been super swamped because I've been trying to organize concerts, man. Bill Graham, who is the big concert promoter and booking guy for the Grateful Dead and most of San Francisco during those like late 60s, early 70s scene, he ran the Fillmore East. Yeah. And I was kind of feeling like him, man. I was booking shows and trying to get supporting acts, and I was actually getting supporting acts. Today's Wednesday the 23rd. Let's rewind a week and a half, shall we? Okay. Because I missed last week. I know I missed last week. I was dealing with the brunt of this shit last week. For real. I got word maybe Friday the 11th that we had... I finally got in contact with a new venue. I'm not going to shout them out because we're still going to play there. And I was a little disappointed with what happened. So I don't want to make them look bad. So I ain't going to talk too much trash. But you know what I mean? However, this was super disappointing. Got word that we could have a show on February 19th, which was the upcoming Saturday. Really short turnaround. That means no time to really promote. And that's why I was like, man, if we're going to pull this off, I need to get some supporting acts. Because, the more supporting acts you have, the less money you bring in. But, I mean, not really less money. You bring in more money, but you split it more ways, right? But then you subsequently get more people because you're bringing in their fan bases too, which is good. And it's a networking opportunity. And the bands I were bringing in were buddies of mine. Okay, that I really look up to, and I've never really gotten to hang outside of work with them, and I was looking forward to the opportunity and kind of feeling like the man for like hooking up a show. Everybody wants to fucking be on stage, right? So I was, we were all kind of getting excited. I had just gotten confirmation from the two supporting bands who I've never worked with that Sunday, the 13th. And right when I get the confirmation, I get a text from the booking guy. Hey, show is off. The owner booked somebody else too, so we have to go with the owner's booking. And I had to turn around and immediately be like, tell everybody. And I had just put out all the promotion for the event too. I had to tell everybody that it was off. I had to go on social media, make a bunch of posts saying, hey, forget that last post. We're postponing it. And it was a nightmare. I had to disappoint the bands. And Monday, I thought I was going into work on Monday, being the man, lining up shows, making people money, setting up networking opportunities, being cool. And I had to go into work and tell everybody, hey, it's all off. Kind of being the big bummeroony of a Monday, right? That sucks. So that put me in a position that sucked ass. So I was feeling like total ass monkey all last week. And I was not doing super hot during the work week. I got to see my man Farmer on Friday. And that always cheers me up, bro. It's great to see my man. Set up some outings for March, which will be cool. We did schedule a show for March 11th at the Broadway Boat Bar, and the two supporting acts that were going to play with us on the 19th are also going to play on the 11th now. So I am happy to report that the show that I said was going to be postponed, we got the date for it. So March 11th, Servid Day, and the Tyler Samuels Project and Forgiving Tree are all going to be playing at the Broadway Boat Bar down St. Louis. So come on down. If you're a St. Louis resident, if you're around Missouri or Illinois, man, come on down, dude. Because we're going to pack that bitch full. It's going to be a time and a lot of great music, dude. We got a lot of hard rock, blues, and some funk coming at you, too, to change it up. So it's going to be great. Really excited for that. Hope to see you all there. So at least, but here's the deal. All of last week, I did not have that information. It wasn't until this weekend that I lined up the postponed date at a different venue. And happy to do it. Broadway Boat Bar seems like a great place. The management has been nothing but upfront, honest, and timely. So super happy with them. Come on out. Love to see y'all there. So that was my rough week last week. A lot of just disappointing people, a lot of covering my ass, like PR covering your ass when you make an event and then immediately have to cancel. I hated that. That sucked. Isuka, you know what I mean? It was terrible. Nobody wants to be the big disappointment on a Monday of all days when you're just disappointed you have to go back to work anyways, man. Why you gotta bring me some bad news? It was kind of, and shit was going down at work too, so it's just like, hey, I do have to tell you this. I know it's not a great time. I don't think there's another good time, but the show's off. Fuck! Yeah, it's terrible. But you live, you learn, and that's show business a little bit, Shit happens. And that I'm glad that the other bands were so understanding, Truly, man, I don't want to shout their names out because I hate shouting out work-related stuff anyways, but, there's these two cats at work that jam. They're great guitarists, super nice people. When I'm having a bad day at work, just a moment talking with these guys turns it all around a little bit. You know what I mean? Just like nice people, and those are the kind of people I like to work with. So, it's always tough. I always feel terrible asking people to hang outside of work for numbers of reasons, right? Most importantly, I have to see you at work. We all hate being there. In your time off, you don't want to think about work. Don't want to talk about work. You got to have that work home separation to have a good, stable home life, I think. You know what I mean? When you're bringing in that bad vibes from work, it's all bad. You got to leave it at the door. That's the only way to have a good day after a shitty day at work, It's leaving it at the door and focusing on what makes you happy. Doing, we always write out that list of, hobbies that make us feel like holy you, You got to do some of those things to turn a bad day around. And it's tough, man. But I really look up to these cats. I figured that if I'm going to ask you guys to hang out outside of work, I might as well set up a show. Something that benefits everybody. You know what I mean? You can talk I could ask you guys to hang out and talk my ass off all day about lining up shows and this and that and promoting and no. Nobody really wants to do that, though. I want to hang out with y'all, but I also want to rock. And if I can, when I need supporting acts, I want to build up my homies that are musicians too. So that's why I'm doing this. I feel like it's a good way to get out of the house and go hang with people I want to, Besides, Serve a Day, they have 2 albums out, guys. I recommend you go listen to them on YouTube. One is called Cinnamon, and I think the other one's As You Wish, but I'm so sorry if I'm messing those up. I'm not looking at the discography right now. But go check them out on YouTube. It's all on YouTube. I'm sure it's on Spotify, man. Give Serve a Day a listen. Same for Tyler Samuel's project. I haven't listened to them yet. Maybe that should be our goal for this week, is to listen to some of their released stuff. Because Tyler Samuels, he sounds like a monster. So I want to listen to some of that. But anyways, again, sorry for missing last week, guys. I was going through some inner turmoil. Definitely did not feel like the man, and didn't want to spread some bad vibes to you guys. If I can't get out of the bad vibes on a Wednesday, I ain't putting out a podcast, because I ain't sharing that with you. You know what I mean? We need stuff that builds us up, man, and I hope this podcast builds you up, dude, because you're a savage. But you need a savage to, let you know how it is sometimes, you know what I mean? There's got to be a point of reference on the savagery. And that's what your boy's here for. But mad love and respect, dude. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I do want to hear from y'all, specifically if you're listening to music and motivation, dude. Call into our voicemail. I'm going to try to put the voicemail link in the bio below this, right? So feel free to contact it. Basically, with the voicemails, you go to our Anchor page. The link brings you to where the voicemail section is. You leave a 30-minute long voicemail. Question, comment, concern. Tell me what you like about the podcast, what you hate about the podcast. If you're a fan and you'd like to come on the podcast, reach out. You can do it through a voicemail too. Do it through our email, which is definitely in the description. But yeah, I'd love to hear how your week's going. If you're going through something rough and need a little support, man, that's what we're here for, bro. Definitely reach out if you're going through something, need a little help, a little advice, a little relationship advice, whatever, man. We're here for it. And we're here for you, dude. I'm here for you. Your homie, Chris Hippie Davis. Here for you. That's what's up. A lot of podcasts say that, but if you send in a voicemail, I answer it, dude. That's the truth. So reach out. Love to hear from you. Let's do a little bit of tips for surviving the week, shall we? I know I don't got the sound effects today, but that's okay. We're gonna roll with it anyways. Real quick, take a second, take a sip of coffee, get some water. Smoke them if you got them, you know what I mean? I'm rocking it with the coffee today, honestly. I'm living on caffeine, hope, and dreams. I definitely don't necessarily recommend getting addicted to caffeine. It's not... I sometimes wish that I could just wake up and have nothing but water, and when I do that, I get the worst freaking headaches. So coffee's nice every once in a while, guys, but don't go nutso with it like me. As my grandmother said, do as I say, not as I do, which is complete BS. That's one way to turn somebody off of doing what you say. Tips for surviving the week, man. Tip number 1, make sure you got that list of hobbies and activities and people you like to hang out with that help you de-stress, that help you feel wholly like yourself, that, you enjoy spending your time doing. Because, dude, when you're having a tough week, when you're having a tough day at work, whatever it is, you got to be able to turn to something that brings you up a little bit. 100%. Music's always been my stress relief, dude. And escape. For sure. Better than any drug. 100%. Playing guitar, boy, better than any drug out there. In fact, I'm not going to play it today. I don't want to get flagged, but your boy's been shredding some Freebird. Because I learned the whole frickin' Freebird solo, guys. I'm so excited to show it off sometime. But, those assholes out there, Farmer, those assholes out there like to scream Freebird at you and, like, expect you to whip it out. And it's kind of like an insult because if you don't know it, they expect you to know it. But it's so hard, man. I remember trying to learn it as a youngster and being like, nope, I should just give up guitar. Because I had no idea what the heck, how to read tab at the time and stuff. Now it was like a 30-minute endeavor, not like to be able to read through the parts and stuff and see how the fingering was, but it's just like routine trying to play it 3 times in a row, and it's becoming memory, man. I'm so excited. But Farmer, next time you just yell Freebird at me, watch out. You might be asking for 9 minutes. That's what I'm saying. Don't be careful what you wish for, too. If you're asking me to play Freebird, that's a 9 to 11 minute endeavor that you're setting yourself up for. So, careful what you wish for. Anyways, tip number 1 is write out that list of activities, hobbies, and people you like to hang with that make you de-stress, relax, and feel wholly like yourself. Shit you enjoy to do. Tip number 2 for surviving the week, call your Goombas. I can't say this one enough because you never quite know what your Goomba's going through on the reg. I am guilty of it on not checking on everybody all the freaking time. Here's my deal. Try to call 3 different Goombas a week. Okay? Just to check in. Because they remember that. They know that you're their boy if you're checking in on them. You know what I mean? Makes you stand out. How many people make a call these days? You know what I'm saying? For anything. It's always a text, hey, what's she doing? Hey, what's she doing tonight? What's she doing Saturday? But, which is fine and all. I'm not shitting on anybody who does that. But I'm just saying, if you my Goomba, you're like family to me, man. I gotta call and check in on you. Especially if you come across my mind more than twice a week. You know what I mean? I need to call in and see what's going on. Because that sometimes is a sign something's going on, man. If, you have a friend come across your mind 2 to 3 times in a row, call and check up. What the hell's going on? Call and check in on them Goombas. Tip number 3 for surviving the week. Let's see. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I've always had anger problems. And, as I got older, I had to find ways to manage them, dude. I don't know if you have anger issues, but we all get heated. Especially when we driving, man. So tip number 3, man. This has a point. Tip number 3 is if you struggle with your anger, man, try to find 2 to 3 different ways to cope with getting angry in the moment. And it's so hard because in the moment when you see in red, oh man, a mofo could just go off, dude. Could just go off and cause some ruckus, dude. And that's no good for nobody, especially you. So find 2 to 3 different ways to manage your anger in the moment when you're seeing red. Best way for me is get the fuck out of there. Even if it's a highly pertinent situation, you might need to find a way to alleviate yourself from the situation momentarily, just to collect yourself, come back at it with a straight head. A lot of times that is not possible. God help you if that's not possible. That's what I'm saying. You gotta have 2 or 3 other ways to manage that shit outside of getting the fuck out of there. So for me, sometimes here's one, and this isn't the greatest, But it's something, man. If I'm freaking out and I cannot escape the situation at the time, clenching my fist as hard as I freaking can. I ain't gonna pop nobody, don't get me wrong. But it's almost like almost like having a stress ball. But you ain't got a stress ball all the time. Otherwise, no shame to anybody who does that, but your boy doesn't. So let's get off tips for surviving the week. I know this is kind of becoming a longer podcast as we go, and that's okay, because I wanted to spend some time with you, my man. That's what I'm talking about here on a Wednesday. We're getting through the week, everybody. We're getting through the week, no matter what day you're listening to this shit. Hope you're having a good day. Really, really. You guys are my Goombas, and I wish nothing but the best for you guys. Let's do some tips for musicians and music lovers. And you guys already know what tip number 1 is. Let's keep practicing. I say 20 to 30 minutes a week. No, 20 to 30 minutes at least. 3 to 4 times a week, okay? That's the real deal on becoming a champion. I'll say if I didn't get my 20 to 30 minutes of practicing a couple times a week, I wouldn't be learning no Freebird solo all the way through. So, that's all I'm saying, is if you want to be playing Freebird, you got to be putting in the practice. Tip number 2 for musicians and music lovers, let's see. Don't be afraid of failure. I mean, Thomas Edison could fail 100 times, and by that 100th time, he's doing something different every time, and you figure out the right way, right? You're not going to get anywhere if you don't try, so don't be afraid of failure, man. Failure builds us up. Failure lets us know how to do it right and better next time, Like, I think Yoda said it. Do or do not. No, I don't know who said this. Let me see. Do or do not. I can't remember. Man. There is no try, do or do not, I'm totally screwing that one up. I look like a dumbass. Oh, well. That's okay. There's worse things. Right? That's the kind of mentality to have. Failure. Don't be afraid of failure. I threw that quote out there like a champion, just to try to let you guys know what I'm talking about. And I failed. And I ain't afraid to. That's the whole point there. Okay. Tip number 3. Musicians and music lovers, dude. If you have a favorite band from back in the day that you haven't listened to in like years, I want you to go back and listen to them this week. Sometimes it's super important to remember why you liked it and to re-listen to it, because a lot of times we hear something different. I'll tell you what, I loved Led Zeppelin when I was growing up, and then when I went off to college to become a sound engineer, I started to hate them because I realized how terrible the audio recordings were. Jimmy Page mastered them all, so you're getting it all through a guitarist's ears, and he's mixing all the drums, bass, and everything else, you know what I mean? So, which is your boy's problem too, But that's what I went to college for, so can unlearn those mistakes. But I've been listening to a lot of it lately and falling back in love with it, and I'm glad that I did. It's always influenced me as a musician, and it still influences my songwriting incredibly. So, and I recommend Led Zeppelin to anybody who's thinking of being a composer. See what they did. Look at the greats. Just as a classical pianist has to study Mozart, I think a great rock composer, if you want to get into rock and roll, man, you got to go listen to some Led Zeppelin. And you got to listen to the Beatles a little bit, even if you don't like them as much. I'm right there with you. They're not my favorite. But, man, if they weren't some talented composers. And that's all for tips for surviving the week, or for musicians and music lovers, man. Mad love and respect. I wish I had the sound effects. I'd be hitting y'all with some crazy fails sound effects right now. But it's what it is, man. Tremendous. I hope you guys having a wonderful day again. As I said, we're just kicking it. I do want you guys, if you need a prompt to send in a voicemail, man. Let me know what time of day. When do you listen to music and motivation, man? Send in a voicemail. I want to hear what how you listen to music and motivation, when you listen to it, and what you dig about it, dude. There's a little prompt, man. Send in them voicemails, bro. Help your boy out. It really makes my day when I even get one. So, if you want to make Chris's day, send in a voicemail, bro. I'll try to make it easy on you guys and put the link in the description below. Let's do a little bit more Chris Davis news and hang in, and then we'll get out of here and go conquer the rest of our day. Sound good, guys? If you got some coffee, some water, you're smoking, whatever, man, smoke them if you got them. Take a drink, get hydrated, whatever. Smoke them if you got them. What else is going on? Forgiving Tree's got a buttload of songs, and I'm starting to get to the point where I think we need to get to the recording studio. I've been putting it off a while because your buddy's a broke bitch, but I'm trying to hit the recording studio here in the next month or two. It's going to be, I think April's going to be the most feasible because I am booked solid in March. Between the show, I got like 2 or 3 different trips I'm trying to go on. I'm going, let's see. Okay, I got the show, and then I got a fishing weekend with the boys and Kelly. It's going to be great. And then I'm going on a hiking trip with Kelly the last weekend of March. Getting out there doing some stuff. I'm sick of being pent up, dude. I'm sick of it. So it'll be nice to get out of the house, go do some stuff as spring's rolling around. I highly recommend you guys try too. And I'm letting you guys know, as a broke bitch, it's hard to plan vacations, but you gotta make time for you. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna have a weekend off, why not go somewhere that's free to you? If you got a homie with a cabin, hit him up. Try to hang out with the Goomba, I make the most of what life gives me, you know what I mean? And your boy is always rolling on a dime right now, so I mean, that's the life of a musician. I just kind of get used to it, and I figure it out as I go. But if you're in love with music and want to be a musician for your life, you got to kind of get used to being broke. And then when money rolls around, you got to learn how to save it, okay? Because when you're always broke, you want to spend, buddy. But I'm trying to figure out some investing strategies too, guys. Your boy's not dumb. I got to be saving money. And I gotta be working more. And the stuff I do, as spread thin as I am, I gotta do it to the best of my ability. That includes this podcast. And while it looks like going without video is a step back, I think it's a step in the right direction, man. Because I've been talking to you guys straight 30 minutes, man. I couldn't imagine doing that on video, bro. This is how I sound when I'm just kicking it with you, dude. That's the whole point of this podcast. And thanks for kicking it with me. I love you guys. I hope you have a great week. I hope stuff is going good in your life, dude. This is just a reminder, man. If you're feeling like stuff isn't advancing, if you're not in a good spot in life, if you just want things to get a little better, write out them goals, okay? I say take a piece of notebook paper, write out your week, Monday through Sunday, give yourself a little space on each, and write out like 4 to 5 little goals that are accomplishable to get you headed in the right direction, man. Back when I had no job, my little goals were contact 3 companies today, put in apps at 3 places. Call back this person and this person. Those would be separate, call this person, separate goal, cross it off. All these goals are meant to be crossed off, people. And when you cross them off, it means you're a savage. Okay, get out there, cross off them little goals. If you're having trouble visualizing where you want to be, like how it could all get better, write out bigger goals too. Write out bigger goals that aren't quite as accomplishable, that seem far off in the distance and impossible. And then think through little goals that step you in the right direction towards it, man. Here's my example, okay? And I want you guys to be smart individuals here and try to use this metaphor and put it towards your life. If you're a comedian and if you want to aspire to be a comedian, right? You're not going to get there if you're not on stage, right? So you got to really push to hit 2, 3 open mics. Open mics suck because they're free. Because you're getting out there and just literally doing it for exposure, which is the not lamest, is due for the process, par for the process, right? But it feels shitty. But it's getting your stage time, right? And getting better, honing your craft, and making your jokes evolve, finding the right word placements, feeling the vibe out, And without that, you're not going to get, in front of pass any sort of audition, pass any sort of festival, competition, whatever, to get you to the next step. I don't know what the next step is. Really, it seems like that's what I mean. When you have those goals that seem impossible, it's hard to even imagine getting there. But you got to make those little goals, the feasible ones that step you in that direction, okay? When you're doing those, when I go do open mics or do small shows that are like hardly no money, I'm there to try to meet people that either, dig my music, dig what I'm doing, dig my personality, that might want to do something similar, that have the ways and means to book me for something else, right? So, I don't know. When you're making those, you have those goals that seem impossible, try to think through little ones, man, and cross them suckers off on the weekly, bro. That's why having a list of big goals and those daily small goals is so important. But enough of that, man. Hey, I love you guys, man. Thank you for being here with me, dude. I hope you have a tremendous week. I haven't done Savage of the Week in a moment. Let's see. Savage of the Week this week. Who is deserved of the Savage of the Week? Savage of the Week. Who's really been killing it? I don't know. My lovely wife's has been killing it lately. Between work and killing it at home. KD's the best. So, KD, if you listen to this, man, my lovely wife, thanks for being the Savage of the Week. You're the savage of my heart, for sure. Keep on trucking. Everybody keep on trucking. I love you. You have a good rest of your week. You be good. And I'll tune back in next Wednesday, okay? Love you guys. Have a good rest of your February.